if you are an Insta-fluencer grammar tuber, just stay behind me, especially on the way back. Don't.
That dude was, without a doubt, the coolest RO at Desert Brutality 2022. Actually, a really nice guy. Very cool stage to run with him. Anyway, you may have seen my video yesterday of my run through Desert Brutality 2022 using a SIG 320 USW, the Brugger and Tomet stocked pistol chassis for the SIG. Well, the other similar platform that's out there these days is the Flux Defense Raider for the Glock platform. And Eric here happened to be shooting the whole match very much like I did. He was in pistol caliber carbine trooper class using a Flux Raider, and we didn't plan this out. I discovered he was shooting that when I got to the match, and he was kind enough to let me film 2 of his runs here at the match. I figured some of you guys would be interested in seeing the comparison of the Flux system compared to the USW. So I don't have a lot of insight here for you guys. This is just some bonus content because I have these 2 stages, thanks to Eric. So a couple things that stand out to me with the Flux system are, first off, it's a little bit bulkier on the belt. The holster is a little bit clunkier, doesn't protect the gun nearly as completely as the USW holster does. It's not really as much of a conventional holster as it is a way to carry the gun with you. So there are some applications, like official applications, police or armed security applications, where I think just the fact that it is very much holsterable as a pistol is a big benefit to the USW. Now, as for shooting practicality here, it's pretty darn similar, the Flux and the USW. The Flux has an extending stock, where the USW has a folding stock, but the overall length of pull is pretty similar. The sight picture is pretty similar. They both keep the optic mounted on the pistol slide, so it does reciprocate, which isn't great. Eric here is having quite a lot of trouble with the long-range targets. I did manage to film the 2 stages that are least conducive to a stocked pistol like this. He has the same set of problems that I did with the USW, a combination of not a particularly accurate tilting barrel pistol combined with a red dot that has a substantial amount of parallax shift in it, and not particularly consistent bulk 9mm pistol ammunition. And so as he gets closer to the targets here, his hit percentage goes up. But from the back of the range, he had the same situation that I did, where it's kind of like you hold the dot on target and you just keep shooting until you get lucky and make a hit, because the bullets are just landing all around the target all the time. It is interesting to me that the Flux, the front pistol grip of the Flux is set up to store a second magazine, which is kind of cool. Later in the video, in the next stage, you'll see Eric actually reload from the front pistol grip of the gun. That's neat, but it does also contribute to the Flux not being as, not really so much concealable, but as just easily holsterable. If you've got a 27 round mag sticking out of the front grip, that's kind of clunky. So can he get the hit? Nope. No, he missed the bonus hit there. No, wait, stop at the table. I appreciate Eric letting me film and publish his not particularly impressive runs. He would actually end up doing better than me overall in the match. He definitely did a lot better on this stage. I gave up on several of the targets that he managed to hit before ultimately we both timed out. But I would catch up to him later on in some of the other stages. So yeah, you can see here, even from around 100, 125 yards, it's just really hard to get hits with a stocked pistol like this.
So you did substantially better than me.
Oh, really?
I had 10 majors and 3 minors.
I was just kind of lobbing them at some points.
I gave up on a lot of those targets a lot faster than you did.
Oh, okay.
You were frankly shooting a lot better than I was.
Really?
So your area of dispersion was like all around the target, but it was smaller around the target than mine.
Oh, really?
I don't know if that's something, I don't know if the Holosun has better parallax issues than the Armor.
Well, it also might depend on the ammo.
That's also very true. And your Glock might be more accurate than my 320.
Possibly.
All right, and then the second stage we have here is, this is stage number 2 from the match, actually, which is the other sort of long-range stage. This starts at, I believe, 125 yards, and there are 2 small circle plate targets out there that you have to hit. This is a little bit easier than the first stage, but not a whole lot. You can see the same sort of issue here. It is hold on target and just deliver a volume of fire until you basically get lucky and one ends up hitting the target. Eric here was running a Holosun red dot. I had an RMR on mine. I don't think there's any really substantial difference between those two for us. There we go. Move to the next barrel because he got both his hits. These are absolutely extremely compact platforms, especially with the stocks collapsed or folded. So if size is a major factor, these have a major advantage over pistol caliber carbines, although I think the USW has a little bit more of a size advantage to it than the Flux, as I kind of already talked about. We'll let him finish off this stage. There we go. He got his second hit from the longest distance. Now we can move up a bit. There is a spinner at the end of this stage. We'll see if he's able to handle that any better than I was able to. All right, we've got, there we go, slide lock back. And here he's going to go ahead and reload from the front pistol grip. So kind of a handy place to keep an extra bit of ammunition. I would like to get my hands on a Flux Raider. I'd like to play around with one, although to be honest, I don't think I'm going to see that much difference in performance between it and the USW. I think if you're out there considering one of these platforms and you can't decide which, I think performance-wise, they're going to end up being about the same. So pick which of the other features you like. Do you have a preference for the folding versus collapsing stock? Do you want the extra magazine storage, or would you prefer it to be something that has a little more secure and a little more full coverage of a holster? So, all right, here we go with a spinner. Good move on the proactive reload before he gets started. One of the things with Desert Brutality this year is there was sort of a caveat to the spinner rules, that being if you hit it 15 times, as long as you were trying to shoot alternating between top and bottom, if you hit it 15 times, that counted and you could move on. Alternatively, spin it, and that of course counts. There's a 60-second penalty if you don't spin it, and of course, if you spend all your time here and don't spin it, you don't get the rest of the stage. So after spinning or getting 15 hits here, you will then unload and show clear, and that's kind of a holdover from the rifle. This is intended to be a rifle and pistol stage. If you're using a pistol caliber carbine or a stocked pistol like that, you follow the same basic rules. So you unload, show clear, and then move up to that box that you can see much closer to the spinner, where you will have to hit 2 plates and engage the spinner again. If you were shooting the match using the regular equipment, the second time you ran the spinner would be with your pistol. So he has unloaded, shown clear, and then immediately gets to reload once he gets up to here. So we've got the 2 plates on the side. You do have to remember to cycle around into the chamber. Hit and hit. Now the spinner's still moving, so he gets to move up to this position and then just finish it off, which should be no problem with a third point of contact like a shoulder stock. This is one of those places where the stocked pistol really does help.
673.
Oh, yeah.
Good shoot, man.
Nice job.
Thank you. Whew.
Any further thoughts? You've now done the whole match with a Flux Defense.
So, holstering could be better, but for what it is, it's decent. I did have some fogging issues on the colder days with the open reticle. So I'd breathe too much, it'd fog up, and I couldn't do it. I had that problem mostly on the Caserta drill. First stage, first day. Let's see. I did have to actually have it more forward occasionally. I have a bit of astigmatism, so the dot isn't very good. But overall, you're shooting a pistol with a third point of contact. And that's where it comes golden. Like on The pistol only stage number 7.
Oh, that thing was fun.
I got that with no misses.
Nice.
So that's the excellent use case.
Yep.
I'd say up to 100 yards is where this shines.
That's pretty much the conclusion I came to with the USW.
That's
You can
good.
shoot it with a pistol. You can do it better, faster, and more accurately with a stock pistol.
Exactly.
If you couldn't hit it with a pistol,
You might.
maybe, but
You have a better chance. You'll scare it.
yes, but it's not a substitute for a carbine.
Exactly. It is great if you're a truck driver or something, but if you're actually fighting with it, something's wrong.